People of the Purple Butterfly here, otherwise known as People of 7 on Twitter and YouTube, People of elsewhere on the internet. My blog can be located at purplebutterfly-people.blogspot.com. My subs can be purchased at people.etsy.com. I attempted to get the oat milk ITPS, otherwise known as red currant, out of the mold, and stubborn thing ain't ready yet. It's solid on the sides, but apparently it's soft on the inside. I took a knife and cut right where the end piece would be and pulled the knife out to check it, and the soap stuck to it like an unbaked cake. In the meantime, I used a little bit that was left on the knife as, single use to do a lather test. It's pHing right in the 7-8 range, maybe a high 9. It's like a really, really deep green. And at that point, I noticed something rather odd. From now on, I actually started doing it when I first started soaping, just as a security test, and then some reason I stopped. I used to wet my gloves after I got them on my hands to make sure that there was no leaks or air bubbles or anything like that. I stopped doing that. I don't know why I stopped doing that. But when I washed my hands with that soap, I noticed this. This is normal. This isn't. You see that? Water is all through that glove. And there's more water right where the baby finger is, so upon examining, there's a little hole right there. See the difference? So if you do nothing else, wet your gloves after you put them on your hand and make sure that when you dry your hands, they look like this instead of like this. If it looks like this, toss that glove and put on another one, because that means any liquid that's getting in there, see how wet my hands are? Imagine if I was lye water. So always double check the security of your gloves and throw this away. Don't reuse it for nothing. Going, oh, well, as long as I don't do this. Don't do that to yourself. Now this hand, because this came out normal test, it's actually hard to pull off because it's on my skin, very secure, and my hands are dry in there. See? Look at the difference. So always double check the security of your gloves, if for no other reason than the fact that when you're working with caustic chemicals, paints, acetones, whatever your hobby entails that might be detrimental to your skin, you want to make sure that all that's secure. Especially, see, that really disturbs me. Look right there. See there on my knuckle? I have an open sore from, I cleaned the bus yesterday because the child got sick. And while I was getting the mop bucket and all that, they had this mop. I swear that thing weighs 25 pounds by itself. But while I was yanking it up, I hit my hand on something and it broke the skin. So the last thing I want is for potentially harmful substances like live water or chemicals or whatever to hit that open sore, which I kind of forgot was there until I felt it burn when my hands got wet. So I'm going to go put some macadamia nut oil on that, double check all my other gloves, and, one pair of gloves in a box of 150, that's no big whoop. I'll throw that away and think nothing of it. But what if it was a package of 40 or a package of 20, or it was the only pair of gloves I had? You always want to make sure that if you're using gloves or reusing gloves, because I do sometimes reuse my gloves a couple of times. Like if the only thing I did in them is cut some soap, then yeah, I'll go ahead and put those same gloves on to make some soap, because the only thing it touched was some soap or some oil, which means they're still safe enough for me to go ahead and mix up some lye water. Now, if I use the gloves to make soap, then yeah, they're going in the garbage as soon as I'm done, because, you don't want to risk contaminating whatever else you're touching with potentially hazardous stuff. So I'm going to go take care of that. I thought I'd share that, so that way if anybody else is experiencing that issue, going, my hand feels kind of itchy, but I'm wearing gloves, then maybe you want to double check to make sure that there's no holes in your gloves or air bubbles or anything like that, because one little speck of lye is all it takes to make a chemical burn. So Stay safe, stay tuned, stay blessed. Don't forget to rate, comment, and subscribe. Bye now.